Have you ever wondered how much would it cost per month to live here in Rockwell? Because everybody talks about living in BGC, and I don't know, everybody seems to be obsessed with living in BGC, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about living here. This right here, Rockwell, I believe is way better than living in BGC. This right here, I think, is what you would call living like a king, or living in a luxurious type of lifestyle. But the question is, how much does it actually take to live here? How much money do you need to bring in every single month to actually live here? I have the numbers for you. I've done the research, and I've got some actual real hardcore numbers for you on how much it would cost for you to live in this little city inside of Makati. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mateo Family Vibes. Let's talk about here what it's going to take for you to live in Rockwell, because honestly, I don't see a lot of people talking about Rockwell. I don't see a lot of people, talking about how much it costs to live there, or, here's my budget for living in Rockwell. I don't see any of those videos out there at all. So I've done the research for you. Let me go ahead and give you the numbers. So to start out, if you, let's say, this is again, the very basics, right, of living anywhere, whether it be here, whether it be in Mandaluyong, whether it be in BGC, right? The cheapest way to get into Rockwell is through renting a studio unit. So how much do studio units go for in Rockwell? Well, to start, studio units in Rockwell are about 27 square meters, generally is what a studio unit is, and they start at about 30,000 pesos per month. So that's what a studio would get you. Now, a one bedroom unit in Rockwell, those start at 50,000 per month, 50,000 pesos per month, and you're getting about 60 square meters. So way bigger place, double basically the size of a studio unit, but almost, double the price as well. Interestingly enough, the two bedroom units that are in Rockwell right now, those are basically going to start out at about 70,000 pesos a month, and that'll get you anywhere from about 70 square meters to 80 square meters for a two bedroom condo in Rockwell. Now, of course, as you know, Rockwell has several different condo buildings, so it's not just one. All of the different buildings that you see there that are lit up are mostly condos that you can actually live in. So keep that in mind. Now, for the Big Daddy, if you have a family and you need, let's say, a 3-bedroom unit, okay, that's where the big ballers come in. So a 3-bedroom unit in Rockwell, they start at about 130,000 pesos a month, and it'll get you starting at about 130 square meters. And obviously, they go up from there, from the square footage and also in price. So 130,000 pesos for basically about 130 square meters if you want to live in Rockwell. Now, that's just the rent. What about the electricity? What about the water and everything else, right? Because at the end of the day, rent is one thing, but you still have to eat. You still have to buy water, you still have internet, electricity, and other bills. So here are some actual numbers as far as electricity bills go. And again, these are going to be averages, because honestly, the electric bill is going to be completely dependent upon how much basically you use the AC in your unit. So if you run it 24/7, expect a higher bill. If you don't run it 24/7 and you use fans, expect a much lower bill. So on a studio unit here in Rockwell, you're gonna end up anywhere between 2,500 to 4,500 per month in electricity. For a 1-bedroom, that goes up by about 4,000 to 7,500. For a 2-bedroom, that can go anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000. For a 3-bedroom, that goes from anywhere from 9,000 pesos to 15,000 pesos per month. Again, a lot of this is going to be dependent upon your AC usage, because honestly, that's probably the most expensive thing to run in your condo unit. So if you're running the AC all day, expect to be on the higher end of that. If you're running multiple AC units 24 hours a day, then obviously expect it to be way higher than those averages. So that is the two most expensive things that you're gonna find living anywhere in condo, living here in Metro Manila, is basically your rent and your electricity bills. So now let's talk about how much of a monthly budget would you need in order to live comfortably every month in Rockwell. Now, when we talk about budgets, we're gonna talk about, based on the actual unit that you have. So let's just say that you have a studio unit. So if you're on a studio unit, your budget is gonna be, your monthly budget should be somewhere around 58 to 60,000 pesos a month. That is what you would need in order to fully live in a studio unit in Rockwell. Again, not very much space, 27 square meters, but if you're by yourself and you don't need that much space, you need it as a home base, that's where you could start out at around 50 to 60,000. If you're looking for 1-bedroom, now you're looking at anywhere from 88 to 92,000 per month for your monthly, for your monthly expenses. For a 2-bedroom, you're looking anywhere from 120 to 125,000 a month. And for a 3-bedroom, you're looking anywhere from 200 to about 210,000 pesos per month to live in Rockwell. Now again, these are very average numbers right now, and honestly, a lot of it is going to be dependent upon a lot of different factors as far as how much you spend on groceries and things of that nature. Would you consider living in Rockwell Makati, now knowing these numbers? Now, of course, if you are looking for any of these units here for rent, honestly, the best place that I would tell you to go find first is go to rentalpad.com. I'll have the link in the description of the video, and you can look at the prices yourself, so you can see what they really are. Again, I just shared with you what the prices start out at for each individual unit. So it just honestly depends on what you need when it comes to your daily or monthly needs here, especially if you have a family. Obviously, you're going to be looking at 2-3-bedroom units. But think about it like this. If you come from, let's say, a big city like New York, Chicago, Miami, how much are you paying there for rent, on a monthly basis? For a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom condo, how much would you pay rent there? Would you pay $5,000 a month for rent there? $3,000, $4,000? I mean, if the most that you could spend here on a 3-bedroom just to start out is about 130,000 pesos, which 130,000 pesos is about $2,200. So that's a 3-bedroom and probably one of the best, if not the best, neighborhood for condo living in the entire country when you compare that to the US. I don't know. That's a pretty damn good deal for me, because to be honest, even living in the States in a 1-bedroom apartment, I was paying $2,000 a month. So for that same $2,000 a month rent that I was paying for in the States, I could live here. That's not a bad deal, so it's just whether or not it's within your budget. So if you make $5,000 a month and you can make that online, then this right here might be the best place for you to live and not BGC. But let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are on the different prices. If you're watching this and you live in Rockwell, or you've lived in Rockwell before, please let me know in the comments, share your thoughts and prices and where you lived, so we could definitely talk about it in the comments, all right? But hopefully you guys, you enjoyed this video, short video, sharing my thoughts and prices if you wanted to live in Rockwell. Well, until the next one, guys, make sure to share, like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.